The sine rule. Before we explore the sine rule, let us examine this non-right angle triangle or non-right triangle. So we use common letters to represent sides and the capital letters or uppercase letters to represent angles. So this side A, lowercase a, is directly opposite to the angle A, uppercase A or capital A. Likewise, we have side B, common B, directly opposite its angle B. We have C, and C is the side opposite to its corresponding angle, angle C. So let us examine the sine rule. What is a sine rule? The sine rule is the ratio of its side A to the sine of its opposite angle A. So the ratio of side A to the sine of its opposite angle A. A divided by sine A is equal to the ratio of the side B to the sine of its opposite angle B, which is also equal to the side C, ratio of the side C to the sine of its opposite angle C. So they are equal. A over sine A is equal to B over sine B is equal to C over sine C. At any given time, we will be required to just use 2. So if we're not using C, A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. Or if we're not using B, A over sine A is equal to C over sine C. Because they are all equal. The ratio of its side to the sine of its opposite angle. Suppose we have another triangle. Instead of ABC, we have PQR. Now, side P, the ratio of side P to the sine of its opposite angle, capital P, or uppercase P. And this is what we write. Small p divided by the sine of angle P is equal to side Q divided by the sine of the angle Q is equal to side R divided by the sine of its opposite angle R. Good. So we go on to something very important. When do we apply the sine rule? Very easy. We apply the sine rule when given two angles and a side, and we ask to find another side or an angle. So this is what we write. Two angles and a side, AAS. So let us examine this in a bit more detail. Continue viewing this video because you will find this very useful. We have a side and we have the given angle. So we have a complete side and angle. We are asked to find this side given the angle, or we may be given the side and we are asked to find the angle, but we are given a complete side and angle, and either the side or the angle, AAS. Or when given two angles and a side, and note not the included angle here because we will be using the cosine rule that we will explore in my other video. So given two sides, S, S, and an angle A. So note again, we have a side and its opposite angle, complete, check, And we have a side and we're asked to find the angle. Or we're given the angle and we're asked to find the side. Now, let us explore some examples. The first example, we're asked to find the side R, but we have to do an inspection. Inspector, come on here. Okay, so let me do some inspection. We would like to find out if we can use the sine rule. We're given a side. Yes. We're given the opposite angle. Yes. We're given an angle. Yes. And we're asked to find its opposite side. Yes. So we're given a complete side and angle. And we're given the angle we're asked to find the opposite side. Now, we eliminate what we do not need. So we're not asked to find angle Q, we are not asked to find side Q. So we eliminate Q. Q, out goes U. So we only use P and R. And this is what we start with. Using P over sine P, we do not need Q. So we're finding R. R over sine R. Uppercase R. And this is what we're using. So let us substitute. Lowercase p, side p is 945 km. So we have 945 km divided by sine angle p is 75 degrees. And this is equal to, what is my side R? I do not know R. We are asked to find R, so I simply rewrite R. Put my angle. Angle R is 25 degrees, so we write just that. Hey, but we have a problem. We're asked to find R. So let us cross multiply. When we cross multiply, we have R multiplied by sine 75 degrees, top by bottom, is equal to 945 km multiplied by sine 25 degrees. So, my aim is to find side R, but we have an intruder. The intruder here is sine 75. We don't need sine 75 because we need to find side R. So in order to get rid of sine 75, I divide by sine 75. But wait, we can't divide on one side alone. We have to divide the other side. The other side is looking and saying, hey, why can't you divide me by sine 75 also? It's not fair. So I divide by sine 75 in order to balance the equation. So guess what? This and this will go, result in 1. So R we have remaining. And we continue our question. R is equal to 945 km multiplied by the sine of 25. So we have 945 km sine 25 degrees is 0.422 divided by sine 75. And sine 75 is 0.965. And we simplify. R is equal to, when I multiply 945 km by 0.422, the result is 398 0.79. What? km. Never forget. Divided by 0.965. So R is equal to 413 km. Very easy. Now let us recap. We are given the side and we are given the angle opposite to the side. Check. We're given the angle and we're asked to find the side opposite. So either you're given the side or given the angle, or you are able to find the angle, as we will see in the other question. We're not asked to find Q, angle, nor side, so we eliminated Q. We only use P and R. Hey, let's go on to the second question. Second question, let us inspect. We have to do an inspection to see what we have, what we need, and what we do not need. So I have a side and the angle opposite to that side. Side, angle, check. Yes? We're given an angle. Yes. But we're not asked to find side PQ or small r, lowercase r. We are asked to find small q. But guess what? We are not given the angle opposite to this side q. But we are in a position to find angle q. Why? How? By simply adding the angles, and we know that the sum of the angles in a triangle equal to 180 degrees. So let us go about finding angle q by doing this. For the 5.2 degrees plus 35.6 degrees plus angle q that we wish to find is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because the sum of the angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So let us simplify this. 45.2 plus 35.6 will result in 80.8 degrees plus q, angle q. Note capital Q represents angle while common Q represents side, is equal to 180 degrees. We have a problem. We wish to find Q, but there is an intruder. The intruder here is 80.8. We do not need 80.8 because we need to find angle Q. How we do that? We eliminate 80.8. And we see that 80.8 is a positive 80.8. In order to get rid of this, I simply subtract 80.8 on both sides of this equation. So this side, I subtract 80.8. And on this side, I subtract 80.8 as well because we need to balance the equation. We cannot do something, carry out an operation on one side and leave the other. So here, this will go. And we continue. Q we have remaining. And 180 minus 80.8 is equal to 99.2 degrees. Guess what? Angle Q is equal to 99.2 degrees. So we have a reason to rejoice. Why? Because we are asked to find side Q. And we know we must have a complete side and angle. Check. We're asked to find this side, but we weren't given an angle, so we would have just found our angle. So now we have an unknown side, but a given angle opposite to that side. So we don't need R. We're not asked to find side R nor the angle R, so we eliminate R. And we're using P and Q. And this is what we write. using small p divided by sine big P or angle P. We don't need R, eliminate that, but we're using Q. Small q divided by the sine of its opposite angle, Q, big Q. And guess what? We substitute. And we will continue here. Small p is 15.6 cm. And guess what? Big P is 45.2 degrees. We're not using R, but we go on to Q. R, we're not using, eliminate R, we go on to Q, small q, the side that we wish to find, divided by the sine of what we would have just found, 99.2 degrees. Good. So we cross multiply because our aim here is to find side Q. Cross multiplying, we have Q multiplied by sine 45.2 degrees is equal to 15.6 cm multiplied by sine 99.2. So what we have here, Q times sine 45.2. We don't need sine 45.2. So we will divide by sine 45.2. Hey, divide by me also. He's screaming, divide by sine 45.2 on the right side of the equation also. So when we divide sine 45.2 by sine 45.2, that will go, and we have Q is equal to 15.6 cm. We write 15.6 cm multiplied by sine 99.2, and that is 0.987 divided by, we have sine 45.2, and sine 45.2 is equal to 0.709. Now Q, when I multiply 15.6 by 0.987, the result is 15.397. CM, where are you? CM is right here. Divided by 0.709. So the result is, when I divide 15.397 by 0.709, we have 21.7. CM, where are you? Here I am. Very, very easy. To recap, we were given a side and the angle. We were asked to find the side, but we weren't given the angle opposite to that side. But it was very easy to find that angle because the third angle we find by adding and equate that with 180 degrees, because the sum of the angles in a triangle equal to 180 degrees. Very, very easy. The third question we will explore. Let us do some inspection here. We're given the side and we're given the angle. Correct. Check. We're given the side and we're asked to find the angle. So we have a complete side and angle and a side, and we're asked to find the angle. We're not given angle B nor side B. So guess what? We eliminate B. We are concerned only with A and C. And we write this for the examiner to see exactly what we are using. So using small a divided by sine of angle A, we're not using B, but we're using C. Small c or side C divided by the sine of big C or angle C. And then we substitute. What is the side A? Big A, small e. Small c, big C. So side A is 9 meters. Sine A, we need to find sine A. C, small c, the side C is 12 meters. And guess what? Angle C is 12.5 degrees. And if we examine this equation we have here, we have a complete side and angle. And on this side, we're given 1 and we have to find the other. We're given the side and we have to find the angle. Or we can be given a complete side and angle, or we're given the angle and have to find the side, as we mentioned before, as we said before, we discussed. So we cross multiply. 12 meters multiplied by sine A is equal to 9 meters multiplied by sine 12.5 degrees. At this point in time, we wish to find angle A. We have an intruder. The intruder here is 12. So what we do, in order to get rid of 12, we divide by 12 meters. Hey, divide by 12 on this side too. So we divide by 12 in order to balance the equation. 12 will go with 12 and we have sine A remaining. Sine A, and we wish to find A, is equal to 9 multiplied by 12.5. So 9 meters multiplied by sine 12.5. Sine 12.5 is 0.216 divided by 12 meters. Next, sine A is equal, I'm still simplifying here, so 9 meters multiplied by 0.216 is equal to 1.944 meter. Where are you? Write our little m. And we divide this by 12 meters. So guess what? Sine A is equal to, when I divide 1.944 by 12, the result is 0.162. But guess what? We have an intruder. And the intruder here is sine because we wish to find the angle A. How do we get rid of sine? In order to get rid of sine, I multiply sine inverse by sine. The result will be 1. If I multiply on the left, I multiply on the right also. So sine inverse by sine will result in 1, and 1 by A will give us A. But because we multiply it on the right also, we end up with sine inverse here of 0.162. A, the angle we need, is equal to the sine inverse of 0.162. Some calculators, you see shift some second function. Second function of sine or shift of sine, you end up with sine inverse. And sine inverse of 0.162 is 9.3 degrees. So angle A is equal to 9.3 degrees. But guess what? When solving non-right triangles or non-right angle triangles, depending on where you live, we know that when given two angles on a side, or two sides and an angle not included between the two sides, then we use a sine rule, AAS or SSA. What if we're given two sides and the included angle? Or what if we're given three sides of a triangle, of a non-right angle triangle? Then we use the cosine rule. And the cosine rule we will explore in my other video. So, thank you for watching. If you are new, do consider subscribing so you will not miss any of the videos that I will be uploading. Be sure to share and like the videos if you enjoy what I am doing. So, until we meet again, thank you for watching. Goodbye.